Paulie here on the Latino Slant. Thanks for coming on by and checking out this very special video. If you're not yet subscribed, make sure you are. And if you are, go ahead and tell 100 of your closest family members about the Latino Slant and have them subscribe now. Paulie here. I'm here with Gil, the real American Cholo, the American Cholo in the American Homeboy documentary.
When I worked in East LA, I wound up in the gang unit.
And we didn't call ourselves gang members. We were social clubs.
There's a difference between a guy who's commuting to work and a car that's cruising and looks like a shark.
We're talking about a whole new culture. We had our own slang, the calor.
Thank you for joining us, Gil. How are you, sir?
Good, my man. My absolute pleasure, Paulie. I finally got to meet you at the screening of American Homeboy. You're definitely much shorter than I thought. You know, I thought you were gonna be much.
That's right. We finally got to meet in person. I've been waiting for that moment for a while now.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. It was a great time. Man, but talk to me, Paulie. What's going on, my man?
And we're in the same city, so it's so silly. Well, okay, let's talk about the documentary. Congratulations. You were featured in it. How did you get to be part of this documentary?
I paid Brandon about $1,500. No. so Brandon, as you know, I've interviewed him a couple times, and he had told me about this project that he was working on for a couple years now, and then he was looking for funding for it, and we were just brainstorming, and then he asked me if I would be part of it, and I was actually very surprised. I was humbled by it, and I told him absolutely, I will definitely be part of this film, and I'm glad I was, because to me it's an excellent film.
Okay, so how did it feel to see you yourself? I don't know if you've ever been in something like that, whether it's a film or whatever, but on a big screen in a theater filled with people.
It was I guess not so much anxiety, but you're looking at it and you're waiting to see, the first part, and you're kind of not. And once the film started, I kind of seen where he was going with it. I kind of saw how he was doing, like, a timeline of it. And I saw a quick snippet of me saying something. I said, all right, there we go. And then I knew towards the end it was going to be more parts of me as it went into the 90s.
Right.
And it was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool seeing people's reactions. It was, my wife's next to me. She's kind of like rubbing my leg and kind of like, wow, So, but it was definitely exciting. It was cool. It was nothing that I ever thought a few years back that it would ever happen. It was nothing that I even believe or fathom it would happen. So when it actually did, it was honoring, man, to say the least.
Okay, talking about reaction.
Okay.
My other half, Romy. She's, a very, street savvy woman from Newark, New Jersey. She don't play, you know what I mean? Like, she's incredible.
Right.
When she saw you say that whole part, and then it ends in that line, streets ain't woke, you're gonna get shot.
Streets ain't woke, you're gonna get shot and killed.
We're always different. We're going to be different, and this is just the way around it.
That's part of us being Chicanos, because that's what we went through.
She screamed, "Yeah!"
Nice. I mean, she felt it.
Well, yeah, because she knows streets,
right,
and people, right? It's just you interchange African American for the Chicano experience.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing all over this country. Like, oh, she felt it. She loved what you had to say, man. I'm sure you've gotten reaction based on that line.
I'm sure I'll get some more as people come out. But I mean, everybody that even I met there for the first time, they were, they smile. They're like, man, you're really controversial, Gil, but in a good way. I think we need that. People are. I believe our community feels a lot towards a lot of just issues in general, but a lot of people are just afraid to say it. It's almost like you need that one person to come out of the room and say, hey, man, this is wrong, or this. And then you'll finally start getting everybody like, hey, he's right, man. And we get some backup from everybody else. And when I said that line, I meant it wholeheartedly. Since the last couple movements, the crime has skyrocketed in the United States, California in particular, because, people want to use woke ideologies to fix street problems, and street problems is drugs, it's gangs, it's guns, it's robbing people, and they believe that we're just gonna, no, we're gonna care for them, we're gonna hug them, we're gonna give them mental, the mental health issue, and that doesn't work. And it's been shown throughout the last few years, even people that voted super left are now waking up to saying, man, these policies are not working. This woke ideology is not working. And that's what I meant. I mean, you're going to sit here and try to go and try to stop some gang fight, saying, hey, guys, stop. You might get yourself shot. Or if you're a criminal acting a fool, you very well might get yourself shot. And don't come back later on talking about it was somebody else's fault. If you're going to act a fool, you're going to be treated as such.
Let me tell you, Gil, the worst thing you could do is whenever you see two women fighting, physically fighting, is
Yes.
what?
Get involved.
Is what? Try to stop it. Now imagine those are gangs or, straight, scary looking thugs. Hell no. I ain't
Right.
getting there. No way. I'm not, but you're absolutely right, brother. And, I hope that left to center, who are the first to wake up, really start getting on our, far left brothers and sisters to like say, hey, we gotta like, change some stuff in regards
Absolutely.
to or even just enforce,
Yes.
because the laws are there, and and you're seeing the this continued lacks of crime, just letting people walk in to either high-end stores or I don't know what.
Yeah, they just had one I want to say it was yesterday, another one out in
Mhm.
where they had that one in Glendale. This one was at a Nordstrom store. About 20 guys came in there, ransacked the place, took everything out, and now they're trying to pass a bill in California that makes it illegal for store owners or store employees to stop people from shoplifting. To me, it should be the quite opposite. They should actually have guys out there with almost like those rubber blocks that they use in jail and start, shooting some of these guys with rubber blocks and tell them, hey, man, this is not acceptable, because if you don't have any structure, if you don't have any law, you have mayhem. And that's just, it's reality of the streets. That's why I say you're not going to fix it by trying to hug your way out of it and just thinking that these guys are going to stop. No, they're on predator mode right now. The streets are always on predator mode. So the more you show weakness, the more they're going to take advantage of you.
Let's go back to the film.
Let's do it.
It's something incredible. And as far as Chicanismo can be, you're born with it, and you can be brought into it.
Absolutely.
Which me and other guys who are like, love our Chicanismo fully agree with. That's why you see homies who, that are white, Japanese, black, I don't know what, represent the cultura, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's plenty of guys that I know myself. There were homies that I've known for 30 years, and just in the last few years found out they were from El Salvador, they were from Nicaragua. And then same thing with me. A lot of my homies didn't know that I was from Honduras until, I came out the YouTube channel and started saying, because it's like I've always said, you don't go up to somebody back in the days and say, hey, homie, where were you born? You say, where were you from? And whatever street you were from, whatever block you were from, whatever city you were
Good
from,
point.
that's what you represented. And the Chicano culture is something that's lived. It's not something that you just sit there and say, oh, because I was born here. Because there's plenty of people that I even know that are quote unquote Chicanos, but they don't identify as Chicanos. They want to identify more as just plain American or Mexican or whatever it is. So Chicano it's a lifestyle, man. It's like, it's like you can't just tell somebody what they are, what they aren't. If you were born that way, if I was an adopted kid and I was raised out here, and if nobody were ever tell me, hey, you're from here, you wouldn't know. When we're all at the end, we're all brown people, and the Chicano experience is this: you come to a country, you're not accepted in that country, you're not accepted in your home country. I came from Honduras. I came to this country. I wasn't accepted in this country. I wasn't accepted as an Hondureño. I'm accepted as a Chicano, and unfortunately, there's people that get hurt when they say that. And that's the problem a lot of times with Raza, where anytime somebody's trying to be inclusive to that, you want to push them away. Like, no, it should be the quite opposite. We should embrace that, and that'll give us more power in the long run.
Well, and I love it, man, because, my primos were, not all of them, but got in the gang life. I had a calling of being in the arts as a little kid that saved me. But my Chicanismo is like such a big umbrella,
right,
that, even though I went, this route, it's still part of that Chicanismo. And I was just talking about this in another video, reading Chicano literature in college, finding out about history that was completely wiped away from us, bro. Here in the States,
right?
you know, and how we can really all connect. And of course, you know, what's interesting later on in my life, now I'm kind of like really digging more of, you know, the car culture, the arte, you know. I love it. The hats.
And it's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I truly enjoyed about the film. I remember seeing Brandon outside. He was all nervous, and you know, as he should be. It's almost like, you know, he's giving birth to his new baby over here, and he wants to know what people think. And I told him out there, I said, Brandon, if your film is anything like the trailer, it's gonna be great. If your film's anything like how you write, it's gonna be great. And
Right.
sure enough, he did not disappoint. It was a classy film. It was not a lowrider film. It was not a cholo film. It was a true documentary and educational film on Chicanoism and how it all began and how it's changed throughout the years and decades and how it is now. But it was just beautifully placed, man. And I'm so proud of Brandon of making that film.
I mean, it's a must watch.
Yes.
You know, I said in my review, I can't wait for non-Latinos, non-Chicanos to watch this. It's done so well. And Brandon Newton, he's a storyteller.
Yes.
And okay, one last question. Biggest surprise for you in watching the film, watching the doc? And we'll wrap it up.
The biggest surprise, I think it was just how, even though I wanted that, just how beautifully it was made into like it's almost like a unity film for all of us. And and how great how you just touched on, you know, how non-Chicanos can watch this film. This is a film you can give to a white man in Wisconsin, and he's gonna look at it and say, oh, dude, that's what this is. You know, it's like, it's not something where you're going to show somebody and you're going to be like, man, that was tacky. That was embarrassing. So to me, but it was just a unification of how it all came together. And I loved how you had the story of homie who was a LAPD sheriff. He grew up in East LA. The other gentleman was a Vietnam vet, grew up in East LA, and they kind of get the same route, but they went two different ways. But at the end of the film, it brought it all together. So that to me was a beautiful thing.
Well, Gil, thank you so much. We'll connect, like I said, video box description, your channel. We really appreciate your time. Congratulations being in the documentary. You take care, sir.
Hey, thank you very much, Paulie. We'll get you here soon, homeboy. Appreciate you guys. You guys have a great night.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Gracias.